Yamakwaba eba ST7 TV so na anope area enyumre chiamu ne yigidi se wibia ho ye de besra mo ne se ene ahobrase ma yesra wo na wa subscribe a like and wa share amonu bi so etie interview a course so ewo TV3 aye papa Kennedy ohene e Japan yebisi bisa ne nsem efa ne me bi e course so emi bi atwam ho ne da ye so ne niswade hunu ne ma opese oye ema Ghana na ochere na adwen mume yenko ne nkotie na megidi se mbehu se ye papa no even though nipa bia ho wonfunso ana nipa bia so nanso won ho no se ye de ono esi wo se president a ono no beboa ama Ghana akonanim Ghana foi mamoma ye nyanya atwom ne yenka se ne yemfa nokora ensie emma entro endihini ewo Ghana efise se yema entro koso edihini wo Ghana ebeda so aye se kurase yenko enim YouTube be bretem bia umi yenko ne nkotie bedamase.
I always get vindicated in the long run, so I'm okay.
All right. We'll get into your main vision for which you want to run to become the presidential candidate. But let's try and clear some of the nitty-gritty, some of the controversial issues first. I do know that you're cast in the mode of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president, as somebody who is controversial, as somebody who wants to be given the authority to make sure that you stamp your authority on all issues. There is the fear that you become more like the president, talks a lot and then does little.
That's an interesting question. I'm surprised that you're coming up with an issue like this. At least what I've done in this country will tell you that I just don't talk. I believe in whatever I say, and whatever I do, I have examples to give you. I'm completely different from anybody, and I'm not going to compare myself to anybody. It's Kennedy Japan. What Kennedy Japan believes in or what Kennedy Japan stands for. And if you are comparing me to President Akufo-Addo that you claim he talks and does little, at least in this country, Ghanaians are aware that Kennedy Japan, whatever he says, he does it. I've created a lot of businesses in this country. I've done a lot of good things to Ghanaians. Typical example is the 37 military hospital where I'm building the cardio center. Some doubting Thomases have said that, oh, it's not possible. How can a Ghanaian commit $6 million to do a project like this? I like such challenges. So today, the question you put before me, it rather motivates me to do more, to prove you wrong. So I'm different.
You're different. We also
and I always turn my negatives to be positive.
We'll talk about some of your negatives too. What we know, and then also what the ordinary Ghanaian seem to think of you.
Right.
Now, I want to play an insert for you.
Go ahead.
And it's on Ahmed Swali.
Go ahead.
You know definitely I'll ask you that question.
And my tour.
You said it on live TV.
Yes.
You brought the gentleman's life in danger.
How did
as a result of that?
What about Kwesi Nyantakyi's
He was shot.
What about Kwesi Nyantakyi? His own deed. His own deed.
So that's your conclusion.
His own deeds caused his death, not me.
You also had defamatory actions undertaken in the U.S. court in Virginia, if I'm right, against Kevin Taylor. You know Kevin Taylor very well.
Yes.
Yeah. And the judgment did say it is undisputed that a Japan is a public figure and Taylor's sentiments were made regarding matters of public concern.
Right.
It does indicate that if you plead the Fifth Amendment in the United States of America, you're a public figure, you should not be afraid of scrutiny. Why is it that when Ghanaian journalists are probing, asking questions that lead to scrutiny and governance, you seem to have a problem with it?
How do I have a problem if you are coming out with sensible questions and the truth? I have a problem with sensationalization.
And who was doing that, Kevin Taylor?
That will cause the death of some people. You see, of late, the way bloggers and other media people are going about issues, if we don't take time, it will burn this country. So you are here mentioning Kevin Taylor. You think what Kevin Taylor is doing to the country and Ghana, because he's a journalist, nobody has to say it if he's wrong? Is that what you are saying, my brother?
I'm talking about the defamatory actions you issued against him in the Virginia court.
Yeah, and they are saying that once I'm a public figure, he can say whatever he wants to say. Case closed. It doesn't mean anything. That's what they say. Whatever he said against me, the court says I'm a public figure. So if you're a public figure, they can say anything. That is all. That is the judgment. So I don't know.
I find it quite funny. And it says that you've been on the campaign trail.
Right.
And subsequently, you seem to be throwing jabs at a number of your opponents who are key leading figures, including the vice president as well as Alan Tremantin, who was trade minister, etc. I'll play you an insert. Perhaps maybe you might not recall. Please, give me that.
It is only Ghana and I would the economy in IMF also your strategies. NPP for woman clean campaign because media okay may reply. Or be also your strategies. Also your strategies. And you're taking over power, not dollar your 4 cities. And then dollar and your 12 cities. We are strategies. Excuse me, strategies. More your strategies.
Mr. Kenejapu, while you seem to have taken the campaign by storm, you also seem to be rallying up feathers, angering people, including your own friends who now are standing against you as presidential candidate.
I don't care.
Who are the strategies you are talking about?
Yeah, who are the strategies? You see, in this country, unfortunately, journalists especially, most of you consume information without digesting. At least you should have given me benefit of the doubt and say that, why did this man talk like that? Is he a madman? Then you begin to probe into it. I specifically said, Mose, Moye strategies. It means something has happened. But you never bother to check what has happened. That is the problem. You see, when I come out like this, then you say I don't like journalists.
Because you were throwing jabs at your own government and key individuals were managing part of the
also
economy.
throwing jabs. They are throwing jabs. Did you listen to what I said? Did you further investigate? That is the problem. If somebody goes there to say that we don't want a candidate who will come and tell you, I have built this for 37 military hospital. I have bought vehicles for NPP. We want a strategist. And you see, if we had probed into it, you would have known that I was not even referring to Vice President. I was referring to John Kuma.
I didn't say that you were referring to a Vice President.
Yeah,
I have not said that.
Here. You said some of the candidates. Is John Kuma a candidate?
I'm saying some of the candidates, you're throwing jabs at them.
And is John Kuma a candidate? If you had probed into it and done your work very well, you would have known that I was not referring to any candidate. But you see, that stereotype positions that some of you take will destroy this country, which I feel is not fair. That's why I'm saying that at least give Japan benefit of the doubt and ask questions. Why did he say this?
Now let's come to the subject matter of this content. Since you've been on the campaign trail, you seem to be unearthing a lot of issues and also coming to the conclusion that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has inherited, based on the indicators, as you stated there, 4 Ghana cedis, well, it depends also where you're taking it from, 3.8 Ghana cedis to $1, seem to have taken it to where we are currently. And so it's incompetent. Is that your conclusion?
That is not a conclusion. But I was drawing the attention of the minister who was on the floor of the House by 12 o'clock saying that we are not going to IMF today, we are not going to IMF tomorrow, and 2 p.m. we announced that we've gone to IMF. And this same guy goes out there to say that we don't want somebody like Japan. That's why I responded. So that doesn't mean I'm saying that NPP is incompetent. But I will admit that moving from 4 cities to 12 cities, you cannot shower praises on NPP. Read my lips. That's the gospel.
Does it mean that you're coming to the conclusion anybody who should be selected to be the presidential candidate doesn't need to be an individual who has served in government. Is that your conclusion?
That's not my conclusion, but it's the judgment of the voters. Those who are going to vote should know the terrain, what we are going through and everything. And one candidate that brings a new vision.
What vision do you bring?
My vision, pragmatism.
Which is what?
PAD means patriotism, honesty, and discipline. Patriotism, honesty, and discipline. In this country, if we can move this country, the situation we are in now, we need somebody who will be bold to tell you to your face that what we are doing is wrong. And the moment I tell you, what's your name, please?
Roland. My name is Roland.
Roland. Yes. When I say Roland, this is wrong, you say, oh, Kenya Japan is rude. I'm not rude, I'm confident. And here, in this country, Ghanaians misconstrue confidence to be arrogant. That is the challenge I have in this country. All what you are saying, everything that I've said have come to pass is the truth. And once I believe is the truth, nobody can threaten me because we are serving this country and Ghana first. So what I'm bringing on board as an experienced businessman or entrepreneur, my experiences, I'll bring it to bear because I have sat down, carefully analyzed the situations and the challenges of this country. And I know that there are three